Better YouTube channel and the Facebook page, then I suggest that you do it right away. Also, follow it. Do hit the bell icon that is on the YouTube so that every time I go live or I post a video, then you can get a notification. I'm not really posting any pre recorded videos, but I definitely am connected there on the live stream. So every time I go live here, I'm live on YouTube as well at the same time. And sometimes I'm also live on my personal profile, but I try to keep that separate. So again, if you're interested in coming live and having a quick conversation, then please let me know. Do join the live stream by typing up the StreamYard address that is down here on the screen into your Google browsers or whatever it is that you guys are using, the Safari. Malik Omar Farouk is trying to join. Unfortunately, I don't see your camera yet, so please allow for StreamYard to access your camera. All right, Malik is here. Morning. Hi, Malik. How are you?
I am fine. How are you? Are you listening?
I'm good. Thank you very much. I can hear you, but your voice is really low. Can you speak up a bit?
Yes. Now my voice is clear.
It's much better. How are you, Malik?
Yes. I am fine. Uh,
Good.
I am. Are you listening?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Where are you tuning in from, Malik?
Yes, madam. I am from Gujranwala, Pakistan. Basically, I am chemical engineer. Uh, uh,
Okay.
yes.
And you are awake
Recently,
pretty early.
yes. Recently, nowadays, I have started my own blog.
Okay. And where is the blog? Do you have a website?
Yes, I am from Gujranwala, Pakistan.
Where can we find your blog? Is it on a website?
Yes, my blog is basically the Amazon affiliate marketing type. So my English is not so good. I want to improve my English. That's why I contact you here.
Okay.
Just
No,
guide me.
I think your English is okay. For you to come here and join the live conversation and have a chit chat means that you have the confidence. Of course, because you live in Pakistan, and even if I was living in Pakistan, I would have a lot of people around me who spoke only Urdu, right? So because
Yes,
there's no
ma'am.
practice, you feel that okay, the English isn't that great.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So you are a chemical engineer, you said, by profession.
Yes, madam. I am basically a chemical engineer. I was graduated in 2015.
So how did you, from chemical engineer, how did you become a blogger?
Yes, madam. Chemical engineering basically is a good field and it's have a scope. But last year I started my own blogging because my brother-in-law doing blogging from last 10 years and he guided me for this.
And what kind of blogs do you write?
No, madam, no, I write some articles, but I think this is time consuming. Most of content I outsource this because my English is not so good. I'm trying to improve my English, but just have no guideline or just suggest me what can I do.
What can you do? Very good question. The only thing you can do, Malik Umar Farouk, is practice. And before you came on this, I was just basically talking about how to practice, right? Now, a lot of people think that they can pick up a grammar book and start practicing the grammar. They
Yes,
also
yes,
think that they read a lot of stories or novels or anything of that sort that's going to help them become better in English as well. I personally don't think that helps a lot, to be honest, because when you are reading a big book and it's a thick book, your mind is too busy thinking what's happening in the story.
yes, yes.
So I always suggest to my students to just pick up the newspaper.
Yes, yes.
and
English
English
newspaper.
newspaper,
Yes,
and read that. So read stories that are happening in your city. Read the news
yes,
about your country, about your province, about the other countries, financial news, sports news. So anything that
yes, yes,
attracts you, always, it's always better to read the local news because the language they use in it is very simple.
yes,
Okay?
yes. Of
But
course.
because it's
Yes,
a formal way of writing in the newspapers, then you also tend to pick up the grammar. So you don't necessarily need to know the rules. Okay.
yes, yes,
So remember, to be able to speak a language, you do not need to remember the rules of the language,
yes,
just like in Urdu. So if you speak in Urdu, do you remember the rules? You don't remember the rules. You know them, but you don't remember them, right?
yes, yes. It's when it will practice, then not good. I hope it always done by practice. A man when he drive first time on car, he see where is clutch, where is brake, where is how can drive. But when he will go practice, then he not know where is clutch, where is brake. He always randomly. Likewise, I
Exactly.
hope. Yes,
So when you're learning how to drive, you probably just follow the rules, or you follow, or you keep aware of the brake and the clutch and the accelerator and the signs for the
yes,
first week. After that, you forget
yes,
everything. It's not like
yes,
you forget,
yes,
but it becomes part of your actions of the driving, right?
yes,
So the
yes,
language is the same way as well. It's okay to know the rules. I'm not saying don't know the grammar rules or don't study grammar, but it's not the only thing that you should be looking at. So if you are
yes,
reading a newspaper, I don't have any newspapers with me right now, otherwise I would read some news. So when you're reading the newspaper, the way it's written, your brain will automatically start understanding the sentence structures. It will start to understand the grammar because your brain is designed in a way where it remembers why two or three words go together. Can you hear me?
yes, yes, yes. No, I.
So pick up articles that have 3 or 4 paragraphs. Read them.
Yes, I.
Okay. Sit in front of a mirror
No,
or turn on the camera on your phone and record yourself. It doesn't matter how you sound, the accent does not matter. As long as you become fluent and comfortable reading the language. Okay. And what I always suggest is please don't sit for an hour to study
yes,
English. You don't need to sit for an hour to study English. All you need to do, if you're doing it on your own, sit for 10 minutes, take a break of for an hour or 2 hours, and then come back to it. Okay, we disconnected. So, like I was saying, sit for 10 minutes, read an article, take a break for 2 hours, and then come back to it. So that way you would at least know if you've remembered, the vocabulary that was being used. If you've remembered the sentence structures that were being used and things like that. Sayed Essen Kamal Abedi, hey, how are you? Welcome back to my page. Obed Rahman says, keep helping Maha. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Abesh Khan says, Maha, can you give example with article or newspaper reading by yourself? Sure, I can, but then if you pick up a newspaper, let me just see if I can actually pick up a news over here. I don't know. Let me see if I can pick up a local news over here.
Alright, I can, but then if you pick up a newspaper, when I'm actually over here, I don't know. Let me see if I can pick up a local news.
Okay,
Alright, I can, but then if you pick up a newspaper,
my screen.
yes, madam.
Yes. Welcome back.
Yes, madam.
Yes, we got disconnected for a bit.
Yes, yes, I am listening now, madam.
You can hear me now. Okay, so
Yes, madam.
do you have access to a newspaper?
Yes, yes.
Do you get
Madam, one more question here.
Yeah.
How I can write my own blog in a short time. Uh, I write my own blog only 1,500 words in 3 to 4 days because my English not good. How I can improve writing my own blog?
To improve writing your own blog is, I would suggest, are you good at writing Urdu?
Yes, almost good.
Okay, so
Almost.
write your blog in Urdu first.
Yes,
Okay. Once you have written your blog in Urdu, don't start writing in English because English is not your
no.
first language. Okay. So in
Yes,
a
yes, yes,
take a book, make your notes, and write everything in Urdu first.
yes,
Okay. After you have written it in Urdu, then you will translate it into English.
yes,
To translate into English, what you'll have to do is, because you've already written your blog in Urdu, you know the
yes,
paragraphs that are there and what are the main ideas of the paragraph,
yes,
right?
yes,
So
yes,
paragraph by paragraph, start writing the main ideas in a bullet form or a note form, not
yes, yes,
sentences. Don't do sentences at all because that's going to confuse you. Okay,
yes,
so translate your Urdu blog into the English blog in a bullet format
yes.
or a note form.
Okay.
You know what is a note form and a bullet format, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Mean I write my complete idea in Urdu, my blog. Then
complete.
it will translate gradually.
Yes, but when you are translating, you are not translating it sentence by sentence. You're only writing
Yes,
the main ideas.
main ideas.
Okay,
Right.
so writing the main ideas means that you're not writing the whole sentence. You're only putting in phrases or a group of words that are
Yes,
basically giving you the idea of what you said in Urdu.
yes,
So once you have that structure, so it's going to look like a PowerPoint presentation, like, you have notes, you have bullet points, right, for every paragraph. Then you start expanding the idea.
yes. Right,
Okay,
right,
and you
right.
would be able to
Yes,
expand it better because you've already written it in Urdu.
yes,
And that will help you because let's say you have started your blog with, 2 sentences, right? So you know that in Urdu, when you wrote it down, you started off by the introduction. So in English, you have to do the same.
yes,
So the way it's organized in Urdu is exactly the same way it's going to be organized in English.
yes,
But now you're not thinking anymore because you already have the information in front of you.
yes, yes. I have my own blog, my idea. Yes,
Yes, because it's already in Urdu and you understand and you know what the audience is and what you want to say and what is the message that you want to put across, because you understand it in your own language in your head, it's easier for you to then translate it into English.
yes, 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 yes. Madam, actually, basically, I am a chemical engineer. I am graduated from university, but I have seen our education system is not good. It's totally data system. How we can improve this? Only few schools, some schools like Beacon House or something city schools the people pass out from these schools are have a good English, but mostly graduated students from universities are not English good. How we can improve this system, education system?
We cannot. Unfortunately, we cannot. That's the sad story. Even though, I can sit here and say, yeah, we can improve it, we can have better students, it's not possible because Urdu is our national language. Urdu is our first language. All right.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
let's say about 70% of children who go to school in Pakistan
yes,
speak Urdu as a second language. They have Punjabi, they have Gujarati, they have Sindhi, they have
mhm,
Balochi, they have so many other languages, Hindko,
yes,
Kashmiri, whatever it is. They have a first language and Urdu is their second language. How can you expect them to speak English as a first language when they don't even
English.
learn English up until, they're like 9, 10 years old?
Yes, yes.
And the
English is
teachers,
the third or fourth language.
exactly. The teachers also have the same problem because the teachers also have maybe 2 first languages, which are nothing to do with English,
Yes,
right? So maybe a teacher from Punjab in Lahore, her first language is Punjabi and her second language is Urdu, but she has to teach English.
yes.
So
Madam,
even for
even
her,
English. English teachers, even English subject teachers, are not fluently talk English languages in our education system.
Yes, which is sad. But
Yes,
it's but this is how it is, right? Unless magically something happens and everybody in Pakistan wakes up and English becomes their first language, then only you can fix the system. Otherwise, you can't,
yes, yes, right.
right?
That's yes. It's problem in our whole education system.
Yes. Um, so it's just about practice, practice, practice.
Yes,
Um, and if you don't practice, the kids don't practice, the teachers don't practice, then how can they speak in English, be more fluent, and then also help others to be fluent, right?
yes,
So I know for a fact that people who have studied English in Pakistan, because they are taught the grammar, so the grammar is really good. When it comes to
yes,
writing, they can write really well. But when it comes to
yes,
spoken English, that's where the problem is,
yes, yes.
the
Madam,
confidence.
here is one comment, how we can improve vocabulary spelling. One comment is
Abish, yes,
just
I already told
yes,
them to get Grammarly. Grammarly is a software that you can purchase. I think it's about
yes,
$28 a month.
yes. I use Grammarly.
You use
I
Grammarly?
use
Yes,
for
it's really
blogging.
good. So you can download that on your computers, and as you're writing, it will correct and give you different, examples of how you can say that sentence. It also checks for plagiarism. So if
Yes,
you have copied the sentence from somewhere, it will tell you that it's a copied and plagiarized sentence. So please change it. So it helps
yes.
it helps a lot. It's 28, I believe it's $28.
Yes, ma'am. Very 20 to 25 dollars in Pakistan, but it's a free version and paid version both. I have used both for my blogging,
Okay.
and it's a very good. I,
It is good, but then again, if you use Grammarly a lot,
yes,
then you're not really learning the language. You're not writing it. Grammarly is writing it for you, which is
yes, yes,
fine,
yes.
which is okay. I mean, there's nothing
Mm.
wrong with it. But because I'm a teacher, I prefer my students to learn than to use a software.
No, madam, I just put the blog in Grammarly after completing them. After completing the blog, then put them and check out the mistakes.
Okay.
Not write on Grammarly.
Okay, that's okay then. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, that's a good way to doing it. So after Grammarly has corrected your mistakes, then please also, read out what you have written and then
yes,
record your voice. Listen to how you speak. And
yes,
the
yes,
more you listen to how you speak, the more you will find the mistakes and where you need to change your accent, your pronunciation, or the way you sound.
yes,
Because you have to remember, I did not grow up speaking English as a first language. Okay,
yes,
I'm from Pakistan as well. So even though English is a first language to me, but I was not able to speak it until I was 13 years old.
yes, yes,
Okay. I could read in English. I could write in English. My mother is an English language teacher. My dad is extremely fluent in English as well. He used to work in the army. So English was like part of our environment. But I was too scared to speak the language because I thought I was, either making a mistake or the words that I was pronouncing were not correct or my grammar was not correct. So I was so worried about what people would think if I spoke wrong English.
yes,
So I started practicing sitting in front of a mirror when I was 13. And I
yes,
used to watch the news and record the news because we didn't have a mobile phone those days. So we had small tape recorders. So I used to record the news and then play it on, when I was sitting in front of the the mirror, and then just try to imitate the news
yes.
reporters. So
Uh,
sometimes I would listen to the British accents, sometimes the American accents, sometimes the Australian, sometimes the Irish. So I was getting familiarized with the different accents that I used to record and then copy them.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Madam, you have a passion in English language from your childhood. I
Yes,
hope.
because it was a need, because I grew up in Dubai. So growing up in Dubai meant that I went to a private school. My all my teachers, I had the advantage that all the teachers in my school were either British, Australian, or Irish.
Yes,
So we didn't have
yes, yes.
any Pakistani
Madam,
students.
yes, yes, yes. My environment is always affect them. Here we talk Punjabi in whole day. How can we improve our English? We must have some friends around our to talk English fluently. We always talking about Punjabi, Urdu.
Yes. Exactly. Abish is just asking me, can you tell the detail about Grammarly, how we can install and its functions and how we can purchase cost, etc. Abish, I think you can Google that information. This is English or Canada. Let's have a conversation. So I'm not really sure how Grammarly is installed and how it works and stuff. Please Google it, and I'm sure they'll be able to tell you better. Thank you so much for asking that question. I'm really sorry I can't.
Yes, madam. Just write Grammarly on Google, and it will add on your Chrome browser.
Okay.
Then it's a free version. Then there is the option for a paid version. Just click on paid version and just paid them and
Yeah.
purchase the paid version. It's
Okay.
very
Yeah.
easy.
It's the internet is so advanced now, the Google and
Yes,
everything is so advanced that if you just type in Grammarly, it will tell you all the details.
yes,
It's
yes,
just a
yes,
matter of reading, and if you want to download it, great. And I know if you have Microsoft Office or even your Google, it just automatically there is some sort of a Grammarly option there, right?
yes, yes.
um, I don't know much about it because I don't use it. And even in my classes, I tell the students not to use it because I want them to learn and not to rely on Grammarly.
Yes, no, no, madam. Basically, if, for blogging purpose, Grammarly is recommended. It's recommended from all the bloggers. When you complete your blog, then put them into Grammarly. Then find out the mistakes.
Right.
It is always recommended by top bloggers.
Yeah. That's good. If you are using it for editing, checking your blogs to make sure that you've used the right grammar, the right spellings, the right vocabulary,
Yes,
and also everything else around it, then it's obviously it's good. But me as a teacher, because I teach, so I tell them not to use Grammarly in my classes.
yes, yes.
Right? Okay, we have somebody here called Muhammad who is joining in with a mask. Hi, Muhammad Shiraz, how are you?
Yes,
Hi, can you hear us, Muhammad Shiraz? Okay, he dropped out. He probably couldn't hear us. If there's anybody else who wants to join in. Malik Umar Farouk, is this your first time here?
Yes, but I always listening your lectures from your own ID and from this English on Canada, even from YouTube. But here I am first time.
That's good. That's good. So what made you join today's conversation?
Yes, when I see you live, then I want to suggest. I want to learn something, and I nowadays I can try. Try my to improve my English language, and I always searching for this. And as you live, then I want to
That's
suggest some.
that's good. That's good. So did you wake up early today, or you don't sleep at night? How does it work? Because it's pretty early. It's what, 7:45 in Pakistan right now?
Yes, I will sleep now after 1 hour. Then I always work on night. Mostly I will work on night from my online work. As I have holidays nowadays from my plant. I have 3 years experience in sugar plant,
Oh,
sugar
nice.
industry. Yes, I
Okay.
am basically chemical engineer and working in production department of sugar industry.
Oh, very nice. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. So, how has Corona or COVID-19 affected your lifestyle?
Madam, is effectively our lifestyles when Corona will start, when lockdown will start, our plant again give holidays, and demand will start after Eid. And for 2 months we are at home here, and we have holidays.
Okay. So obviously you are also practicing the lockdown, right? So you're not going out.
Yes, in lockdown, I still working my online work. I start as I start my own blog, Amazon affiliate blog. Basically, this is my first blog, first practice, but that was good for me. I learn. I always learn. All days I am on laptop, just working online work for blogging, for freelancing, for how I can improve my English language, how I can improve my skills. That's a good time. This is a good time for all the Pakistanis, all the people to learn some new skills and improve your skills and learn. As most of the businesses are shut down, but online business are just working. Freelancers, online bloggers are always working nowadays.
Yes, that's right. All the other businesses have shut down, so only your, the food industry, basically your FMCGs, your supermarkets are open, your health business is open, and then your education business is open, and then anything which was online is also open, which
Yes,
is really interesting. And I think this is where the world is going now as well. So people now need to start working on their skills,
yes.
and basically, improving on having or acquiring new skills, so that once this COVID is over, the world is going to shift.
Yes, yes.
There will be a lot of
Uh,
changes.
And I always think as I am doing job and I start my part-time working in computer from online work. I hope so. This is a good opportunity for all the Pakistanis to learn online freelancing, blogging. As a even they can work as a part-time,
Hmm.
even they can work as a part-time, and because we are graduated, we are engineers and graduated from university and started our jump from 25k,
Right.
25,000 salary starting as a trainee engineer. Then after 1 year it will increase 35,000, right?
Hmm.
Then we promoted after 2 years 45,000, 50, just. But I think nowadays freelancing and blogging have vast scope. I
Yeah.
think as I am doing job and I see after 5 years, I will pay 80,000, 90,000. But if I will work on my own blogs, then I hope after 2 years I can earn this money.
Yes, inshallah, you should be able to, but you just have to be focused, and you have to be consistent, and you have to make sure that you keep on doing this, right?
Yes,
Great.
that's the English language is my hurdle, but I will try to improve this, and I will join your online live session,
Yes,
inshallah.
of course. And like I told you before, that any blog that you want to write, my personal suggestion is that write it in Urdu first.
Yes, yes,
Okay. So that you
yes,
have the whole idea in front of you before you start practicing writing it in English, because you don't want to write it in English and then go like, okay, I'm missing the main idea, or I'm missing the main point, right?
yes, yes,
Okay. So
yes,
I have here Mahesh who's trying to join, but Mahesh, I don't see your face. Unfortunately, if I don't see your face, I can't bring you online. So please make sure you're sitting in front of the camera. You have to be sitting up straight, Mahesh. Anybody who's laying down in their beds, I cannot bring them on my live stream, because please consider this a classroom where you're
yes.
sitting in a classroom with a teacher. So you're not
But that
laying down.
that's a good not good way to learn something. Here people come for learning, not for
Yes,
enjoying or anything. Just discussing, just for learning. It's a learning
exactly.
platform, I hope.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring Mahesh here, and Malik Umar, you're gonna have a chit chat with Malik. With Hi Mahesh, how are you?
Hi. Good morning for me.
Good morning,
I'm from
Mahesh.
India.
Okay, so Malik and Umar,
I'm from India.
good. Malik and Umar, have a chit chat. I need to just charge my laptop, and Malik take over and ask Mahesh about himself. Okay.
How are you, dear? Are you listening?
Hi, Malik.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Yes.
How are you?
I am fine.
I wake up
I am
just now.
from.
Today year is
Yeah.
yeah.
What is
I
the
wake up just
situation?
now. So here,
Just
your voice no.
Malik, there's a lot of noise. Not Malik, sorry, Mahesh. There's a lot of noise behind.
Yeah,
Is your
here
family watching TV?
morning actually. I wake up just now.
Okay, is there somebody watching TV in your house?
You are listening me?
I can hear you. Is there somebody watching TV at home?
Hello.
Yes. Hi, Fakir. How are you? Hello, Fakir. Fakir, can you hear me?
yes, madam.
Hello, Fakir. Can you... Hi, Fakir. Can you hear me? Hello. Okay, Fakir cannot hear us. Can you hear me, Malik?
Yes, madam. I
He
can
dropped
hear.
out. He dropped out as well. Also sent a message saying
Yes,
that
madam. Where are you living nowadays? Where are you
I,
living nowadays?
I live in Canada.
You mean you have visited when you have visited Pakistan last time?
About 3 years ago.
Yes.
I used to live in Dubai before, but I've been in Canada now for the last 3 years. Hi, Tokir. Can you hear me? Hello, Tokir. There's no sound.
Yeah, no headphone.
Do you have earphones? We can't hear you. There is no sound. Okay. He cannot hear us and we can't hear him. I'm so sorry, Tokir. I know you've been trying to come online for a while. He also sent a private message saying that he cannot hear my voice. So Tokir, maybe just exit the screen, restart the StreamYard, and then try to enter, and then maybe you would be able to hear us better. Okay. Yes. So Malik, I've only been in Canada now for 3 years. I used to live in Dubai before. Plus, I've been teaching now for about 25 years.
Yes. 25 years.
Yes. Okay, I have Javed Kusu saying, can you reply to our comments here? Javed, I don't think you've asked me anything, but then go ahead and ask me. If I'm having a conversation with somebody, then of course, at that time, I can't type the messages. I usually do type up the responses if my guest is speaking and I can look at it. But please go ahead and ask any questions that you need to ask. Okay, so I still don't know, Malik, what kind of blogs do you write?
Yes, madam, I am writing a Amazon affiliate blog. Basically, this is my first blog, and I have written almost 8 articles in 2 months.
Okay.
Yes,
Do you
in
get
1 month,
paid for this?
yes, I have uploaded one article per week.
Okay, so do you get paid for this? How do you get paid for this?
Yes, madam.
How do you get paid for this? How do you make money from this?
Yes, madam. Basically, I have started my blog from 2 months ago, and now there is 8 articles have been uploaded. When it will 15 to 20 articles, and I have done my SEO, my
Mhm.
site SEO. When it will complete and my site will rank on any keyword on Google first page, then when 15 to 20 persons will come my site in one day, then I will affiliate this from Amazon.
Okay.
I will join Amazon commission, Amazon affiliate. I will make my account on Amazon site. Then I will get a link from Amazon. Then I will paste this link on my website.
Okay.
As I have written blog on the products of Amazon, some products of Amazon that have listed on Amazon.
Very nice. Okay. Do
Yes.
share your blogs with me as well. You can, once this live stream is over, you can put it in the comments. And then obviously people would just click on it and you would get some traffic going to your
Uh,
blogs.
yes, madam.
Okay.
Yes, then I will link them. Madam, you can
Yes.
get.
Hi, Sagar. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
I'm very good. I think you've been here before as well.
Yeah, I have already joined your conversation before.
Okay. Okay. Great. So I'm going to go back. I can hear the rooster in the background.
What?
I can hear the rooster. You know rooster?
I don't know. What is it?
Chicken?
No,
No?
no.
Okay. Maybe on this side.
Maybe my there's a fault in my mic. Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. So I'm gonna go back and Malik and Sagar, please get to know each other, okay?
Yes. Hello, how are
Okay,
you?
brother. Where are you from?
I am from Gujranwala, and you from?
I'm basically from district Thatta, but currently I'm living in Hyderabad.
Yes, you are from Sindh, living in Hyderabad.
Have you heard this before, district Thatta?
Yes. I have here this. I have visited Karachi, but not Hyderabad. Just travel from Gujranwala to Karachi, but not
Thatta is
staying over there.
very famous because it has many ancient
Yes,
archaeological sites like
yes. I have listened.
and also necropolis like Makli graveyard and the
Yes.
Shahjahan Mosque. It is very famous. It is also
I have.
known as City of Saints.
Yes. Makli word is used in any drama. I hope I'm not listening. Yes, Makli. I know Makli, and I have listening this. What is your
Makli is,
field?
Makli is basically famous for the Makli graveyard. It was one of the
Yes,
biggest graveyard in the world, but now
yes,
it is also considered as the biggest graveyard in Asia.
yes.
So what do you do other than
Uh,
blogging?
yes, basically, I am a chemical engineer. My field is basically I was graduated from university in
Chemical engineering.
2015.
So you might be good in chemistry, right?
No, chemical engineering is not a chemistry. Chemistry is different from chemical engineering. Chemical engineering is basically a production field, operation field.
I know. I'm also a textile engineer, but
Yes.
one of my friend has a very good chemistry because he was graduated in chemical engineering.
Uh, I also he has good chemistry, but chemistry is not my interest. Uh,
Okay.
yes. Where you from, graduate?
I am graduated from Mehran University, Jamshoro.
Mehran University. Is it private or government university?
No, it is semi-government.
Government.
It is
When
the
you
most
was
reputed university in Sindh, engineering university in Sindh.
yes. Yes. Yes, I have. When you was graduated, and what
I
is your
was
working experience?
graduated in 2016. Then I joined few textile industries, and I did my job there for around 1 to 2 years. Then recently I have started my preparation in CSS.
Yes, you have left the job or continue your
What?
job nowadays.
I left.
You have
Left all my jobs.
yes, yes. You want to chance for CSS. What is
Center
your
Superior
age?
Services.
Is it age restricted now?
I am just 25 years old, and
Yes,
around 5 years are remaining. I have
yes,
three
yes. You
attempts
have
remaining.
time. Yes, you have time for. You must try.
Okay, you were talking about Grammarly.
Yes, yes.
Is it paid?
Grammarly has both version. This is a free version and also a paid version.
I go through Google Play Store, but I only find the paid version only.
No, when you write Grammarly on Google, then you will add it into your Chrome browser. Then
Chrome
it will
browser.
work free. Yes, almost 2 to 3 months. I have used free version.
Okay.
Yes,
So
Grammarly is a good thing for
what's the difference
Grammarly
between the
mistakes.
paid version and the free version, Malik?
Madam, the free version is only contains the basic grammar mistakes. It's not contains easy language or word suggestions. The paid version give you word suggestions. You must use the different words, but only free version just gives some mistakes in at grammarly mistake. Just not anything suggest you.
I want to
Okay.
say something, Maha.
Yes, go ahead, Sagar.
I'm a little bit disappointed from you
Why is that?
because last time we had some discussion about essay writing and composition,
Okay.
and you said that send me link on Facebook Messenger. I will reply to you, but you didn't.
Did you send me the link?
Yeah, I sent you link about essay and composition paper, also syllabus and the exam material, but you didn't reply me.
Did you send it on English or Canada?
Yeah, English of Canada. I think English of Canada or Mahakatabi. I don't remember, but let me see.
Okay, so resend it. Sagar, I do get more than 100, 200 messages a day. So apologies. Sometimes I open them and I forget. So it's getting so many messages at times. I always tell my people, whoever is messaging, that if I haven't responded to you the first time, please don't feel bad and send me the same message again. Or leave it in the comments somewhere that
Let me
I
check.
sent you a message. Please
I
check.
have sent you on your profile Mahakatabi. Is it Mahakatabi? Katabi
Yes,
what?
it is. It's Mahakitabi, yes.
Yeah, I have sent you link
Did I open
Mahakatabi.
it? I,
Let me
I
show you
probably did not even look at it because you're not on my friends list. So it goes into the others inbox, right?
this ID.
Okay, so just resend it, and I will look up
Check
in
it
the
now.
other inbox.
Okay, can you briefly tell me about essay writing?
Okay, I got yours now. Oh yes, I remember having a conversation with you about the CSS. Yes. Okay, so I've just responded to you. So now you're in my inbox, and I can look at it now. Okay, so what do you want to know about the essay writing?
Um, if you can see my link in the essay writing, the Federal Public Service Commission has recommended that your essay must be research based and around 2500 to 3000 words,
Hmm.
and the time limitation is 3 hours.
Right.
So, and basically, when we attempt essay, we managed to get around 2000 to 2500 words and around 20 to 25 paragraphs.
Hmm.
But the most we can say that the problematic thing is that after giving exam, if we fail, we don't know why, what was the reason of our failure. This is
Right.
the biggest confusion. Maybe we are not following the right structure, or it is not research based. So I want to know briefly about essay writing, if you can tell me.
Essay writing, I can't tell you briefly.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so the only thing I would tell you is when you're writing essays, and whatever the topic is that you're writing about, just remember if they're expecting you to write 4 paragraphs, Okay.
It is around 2,500 to 3,000 words.
Okay. So I'm just giving you a very brief
Okay, okay,
idea. So I'm going to break it down. So if you're writing 4 paragraphs, your first paragraph is the introduction.
okay,
Your last paragraph is the conclusion.
okay, I got it.
Your conclusion and your introduction are quite similar.
Right.
Okay. Because let's say you are talking about the education, the importance of technology in the education system. So you introduce it and say that I am going to be discussing this based on my research and based on the information that I've collected or the data that I've collected, right? In the end, the conclusion paragraph will say, based on the information given in the above paragraphs, this is the conclusion that I have.
Okay.
Okay. Your 2 paragraphs that are in between the first and the last, your for each paragraph, at least try to have 1 or 2 main ideas.
Okay, 1 or 2 main ideas.
Okay. So for every paragraph, have at least 1 main idea and 2 supporting details.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say you're talking about education in the West. Okay. So again, I'll stick with the education topic of it. So the education in the West, you can talk about a positive point and you can talk about a negative point.
I got
So
it. Yeah.
the education in the West is focused on, or there's a lot of focus on technology when it comes to education in the West. What are the positive impacts? What are the negative impacts? Okay.
Okay.
You have 1 main idea, 2 supporting details, positive and negative.
And what about the statement? What is it? Thesis statement.
Thesis statement is basically it's your main idea, which revolves around everything that you want to basically say in your essay, and it differs from topic to topic, of course.
Is it the first sentence or last sentence of introductory paragraph?
I have Javed Kusu, sorry, trying to join in. Javed Kusu, if I don't see your face, I will not be bringing you online. You need to be sitting up straight, and yeah, you need to sit up straight, Javed Kusu, if you want me to bring you online over here. Sorry, just give me 1 minute, please.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Take
there's
your
somebody
time.
who's been trying to join for some time. Yes. Hi, Javed Kusu, how are you?
So did you add me or not?
Yes, we can hear you, but not very clear.
What about you guys? Really?
Yeah, it's not very clear. Okay. So Javed Kusu, if you can just fix it, he's been messaging for a very long time. So that's why I have to bring him on. Otherwise, he seems like a person who will get upset.
Okay.
What?
Javed, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, but I speak again. I didn't understand what you said now.
I think he has
Sorry
slow
to
internet
interrupt you all
connection.
guys.
Yeah, we can't hear you that well. I'm so sorry. So basically, your thesis statement, that's what you were asking me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So your thesis statement, as it suggests, is what is a statement? Do you know what a statement is?
Like statement is something you say and you have anything that might be your opinion.
Okay, good. It's your opinion. It's a statement you're giving out. It's an idea you're giving out, right? So a thesis statement would basically be, consider it like a title of your thesis.
Okay.
So before you start writing your thesis, before you start writing your essay, you have to give out a statement. It's not a conclusion. It's not your opinion as such. It's not really your point of view 100%, but it kind of summarizes in a way what the rest of your paragraphs are going to be about. So if you don't have a thesis statement, which usually comes, in the first paragraph, if you don't have a thesis statement, then people don't really know what they are going to be reading, or the examiner doesn't know what the rest of the paragraphs are going to be about.
Okay. I want to ask you something. What do you think that why most of the people fail in essay paper? Around 90% of the students fail in essay paper.
In CSA exams.
Yeah, around 90%.
People fail in their essay papers only because they're not able to organize their thoughts well.
Organize their thoughts.
Okay. And they're not able to understand the question properly. That's the only way somebody would fail. Okay. Obviously, your grammar matters, your sentence structure matters, but at the same time, if you're not using, amazing vocabulary, you're not using big words all the time. You're using very simple words. As long as you have answered or addressed the question, the task, there is no reason for you to fail. A lot of people, what happens is, let's say I ask you to talk about why do you think that fasting is beneficial? Okay, we're all fasting in the month of Ramadan. If one of you, or in your essay, you start talking about the history of fasting, you're going off topic.
Okay.
Right? You can talk about history of fasting. You can say how it started, when it started, what is the relevance of it. You can also talk about the fact that the Quran was revealed in the month of Ramadan, right? But if the whole essay is based around the history of Ramadan, it's not addressing the question. So the question is, what are the benefits of fasting? So I'm only looking at, as an examiner, I'm looking at the benefits. How does it benefit you spiritually, emotionally, health-wise, mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever it is, right? So think of the ways that fasting would affect you or have an impact on you, mentally, emotionally, and physically, and spiritually at the same time. There's 4 topics I've given you already. I've given you 4 paragraphs.
It is outline.
These are the outlines. So these are the main ideas. So if I tell you to write about how how does Ramadan or how does fasting benefit you, then I need 4 paragraphs: physical fitness or physical benefits, emotional benefits, mental benefits, and spiritual benefits.
Okay.
And in the spiritual benefits is when you bring in a little bit of the history of fasting. Or in the introductory paragraph, you bring in a little bit of history of fasting. That when did it start? Why did it start? Who started it? And in the conclusion, you link
Relevancy matters
together. Sorry, go ahead.
You said that it means there must be relevancy in your paragraphs and the essay.
Madam, can I add?
Yes, go ahead.
Relevant information. You are talking about relevant information.
Sorry, say that question again, please.
Basically, you are saying that the essay should be relevant.
Yes, it should be relevant. And you cannot have anything which is irrelevant in it, or something which you think is important, but it's not necessary. Now, how do you figure out what is important, what is not important?
I think brainstorming.
Brainstorming is the key, right? So
Yeah.
I gave you a random topic and I said, how is fasting beneficial, right? In my head, now this is not something that I had thought about before. So in my head, I'm just thinking the benefits of fasting quickly. The 4 benefits I gave you: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. That's it. I'm only going to be talking about this, nothing else.
Okay, thank you so much.
Madam, can I add one question?
Yes, Malik, go ahead.
Madam, you are talking about 4 paragraphs. It will always 4 paragraphs. Is it even says 1,000 words or even 3,000 words?
No. 1,000 words cannot be 4 paragraphs.
Or 3,000 words. What is the difference there?
then you just have more paragraphs in it.
Yes, yes.
So let's say that you are writing something for, there's a limit of 3,000 words on it.
Yes, it will be essay type.
Yes. So let's say if it's 3,000 words, then you're looking at an average of at least 15 to 25 sentences minimum, okay? Or even 50 sentences per paragraph.
Yes, yes.
Okay, you can't have a paragraph with 10 sentences in it because that's going to be too small.
Yes.
Okay, again, depending on the type of the essay, what you're writing about, always have the pros and the cons, the negatives and the positives, the good points and the bad points, the importance or the advantages and the disadvantages. So you have to plan the essay in such a way where you have the introduction and it's more of a storytelling kind of a thing, right? It doesn't matter what the topic is. Always remember, if your essays are not in a storytelling tone, people will get bored.
Yes, yes.
Or
Madam,
to be linked with the ones before.
is it it is effective? Is paragraph is long or short?
Is it what?
Madam, is it effective on essay quality? Our paragraph will be long or short? Long paragraph or short paragraph?
It does matter. If you are putting in too much extra information, then it doesn't look good. And if you're not putting enough information, then it doesn't look good. Now, how do you decide how much information is enough?
Yes, yes.
Right? So putting in extra sentences is always not advisable. So let's say you have a main idea, you have a supporting detail, make sure you have an example with it in a paragraph.
Yes.
If you have one main idea and two supporting details, then you have two examples with it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, yes.
The best way to practice this is, of course, you won't understand it this way, but the best way to practice this is to make sure, or basically read up essays, read up articles, sit with a highlighter or a pencil and highlight the main idea in that article in one paragraph, find the supporting details and find an example.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Sometimes you have really long paragraphs as well. If you look up the Financial Times in the newspaper, I love looking at newspapers, so I'm going to give you examples of that. You have really long paragraphs in that. Sometimes the whole page is one article, right? So look at that, see how the paragraphs are divided up. What are the main ideas they're talking about? Always remember, you will read, as you read more and more and more, you'll realize there's always a beginning, middle, and end. There's always a flow of ideas. It's more like a storytelling. So everything is connected just like a story. If you're trying to tell a story about, how the stocks have been impacted because of COVID-19, how the businesses have been impacted because of COVID-19, and what's going to happen in the beginning, you can always have talk about the past, that there have been pandemics before and how the world has changed. Talk about the present, that presently we're facing a pandemic, COVID-19, and in the future, what is the impact of that? And then for the next 80 years, nothing's going to happen, or next 100 years, nothing's going to happen, and then there will be something else again, because this is something that comes back every 100 years.
Yes, yes.
So again, like Sagar mentioned, get acquainted or get familiarized with brainstorming. Because if you don't brainstorm and making mind maps, if you don't do that at the beginning, or you don't start doing it at the beginning, then it becomes difficult for you.
Things will get scattered.
Yes, things will get scattered and you won't know where you're going. So making a mind map before you even start writing is the most important thing you can do. It doesn't matter if you're writing an IELTS exam with just 4 paragraphs, 250 words, or you're writing a thesis which has 3,000 words.
Thank
You
you.
should know that every paragraph is a paragraph independent on its own, but it's linked with the paragraph before and the paragraph after. But sometimes you could have one idea in 2 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs because that idea is so heavy.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Not related with academic studies, but I want to know about the situation of coronavirus in Canada.
It's the same, Sagar, same as everywhere. We've had the lockdown has become a little easy now, meaning that we don't have so many restrictions. People are still going out, but not as much. We don't know what's happening. Every month they say that they're going to open up the schools, they're going to open up businesses. A lot of businesses are going bankrupt. You know about this food chain called Nando's?
No, I haven't heard this
Nando's
before.
chicken. Nando's chicken. It's like KFC, but it's more healthier. So
It's a grilled chicken.
it's grilled chicken. Yes, it's called Nando's. It's from West Indies, I believe. I think I'm not really sure. 12 of its locations are shutting down.
Yes, yes.
Right. A lot of businesses have been affected. Restaurants, be it be it gyms, because nobody's going to the gym anymore. The gyms are, they're shut down.
Unemployment is increasing.
Yeah, lots of places.
Are you frightened of coronavirus?
Am I frightened of coronavirus?
Yeah. Like your neighboring country, US, has a very intense wave of coronavirus. So your country is next to US. So are you frightened?
Of course, it's in the back of my head. I am scared from COVID-19, but it's not stopping me from living my life as such. I am being more cautious. So if I go out, then I make sure that I have sanitizers with me. When I come back home, I make sure that I'm washing my hands and I'm sanitizing my hands and my shoes before I walk inside the house. Right? I'm making sure that
Are you introvert?
I'm a mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you are having online classes at home, so I thought you might prefer being introvert most.
No, actually, I'm only doing online now because I'm stuck at home.
Do you have an academy there?
Otherwise, during the non-corona days, I am teaching
No.
in 2 different.
Do you have academy in Canada?
My personal academy, no. But I'm planning on building one. This is why I go live here. So this is eventually going to be hopefully, inshallah, it's going to be my private language school soon.
Okay, not yesterday, but day before yesterday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced around $250 billion package to recover their economy. And also United States has announced $3 trillion to recover the economy. What measures have Justin Trudeau has taken to get Canada an economic stable country?
I have no idea. No, okay.
Don't you read Reuters?
No. Canada's going on a different. Canada's a very different country. You need to understand. It's not how the U.S. works, and it's not how India or Pakistan works either. The way Canada works is very different from the rest of the world. So when the lockdown started, initially,
I want to know how it is different.
I'm telling you. So when the lockdown started, Canada did not wait for 1 month or 2 months to decide that it's going to help its people. The minute the lockdown was announced, within a couple of weeks, they said that if you have lost your income and you're not working, then the government is going to give you $2,000.
Wow.
Okay. The minute they announced the lockdown and said you're not going back to work for a month, it made announcements to say that, okay, if you are a small business or a large business, whatever it is, we're going to give you the funding to make sure that you don't shut down. We're going to pay your workers, right? So it came up with plans overnight. Unlike other countries who have been waiting for 2 months and 3 months and now saying that we're going to help you to the citizens, Canada acts very quickly. I don't really have the numbers of the
So
funding.
you are quite happy with the ruling party.
I'm working already, so for me it doesn't matter. You know, I'm still working in the morning, so I'm getting paid. I have
Yes, madam. Madam, in Pakistan there is a different situation. When the corona was initially, when lockdown was initially started, people take the coronavirus serious. But nowadays, people not take it serious. All the time there is a huge gathering all around. I have visited 2 to 3 villages around my city. There is no mask, no sanitizer, no social distances. People not take it serious. People think that there is no corona.
Mhm.
There is no corona. Just
Yeah, it's sad, but you know, we don't know. We will only know if there is a corona or no corona in the next 2 months. Maybe in September, October. We'll know something. There are people dying, there are people getting sick, there are people getting infected, but we don't know what it is because we haven't seen it with our own eyes, right? We hear of people dying, but now because it's the day and age of the internet and the social media and everything, a lot of reports or nurses or doctors, even in the West, are coming up and saying, no, this is not corona, it's something else.
It is
There's
corona,
more-
but
There's more Black people in the US dying than white people. And now that's becoming a question, that why are the Black people dying?
Madam, but we can't understand these things. When the initially corona was started, there is a huge, there is a lockdown. But nowadays, yesterday, all the public transports are open and huge malls are open. Uh, what is this? If the corona is so sick, why Prime Minister, even public transport, even malls are now open from tomorrow?
Maha, last time, when did you came Pakistan last time?
3 years ago.
And were you born in Pakistan?
Yes, I was born in Pakistan.
Okay. Have you taken BCG vaccine?
Yes, I have, I'm sure.
BCG vaccine.
It sounds
So
familiar. I don't know what it is. What is it?
yeah, you are right. Almost every Pakistani and Indians have taken BCG vaccine. So recently, there was an article of New York Times, and they said that those people who have taken BCG vaccine are immunized more than the West. You get my point?
Okay.
So that's why the spread of coronavirus is very high in the northern side, like also in the Western countries, Canada and US and the European countries. But due
Mhm.
to this vaccine, the situation in Pakistan is moderate. It's not very intense, and it will never get intense in Pakistan in India. But you have seen the situation of Europe because they do not use BCG vaccine.
It makes sense. It makes sense because in the West, they do have to take vaccinations, but it's up to them as well sometimes to make their choices and say, we don't want to take the vaccination. But let's say I grew up in Dubai and there was a list of vaccinations that I had to take. If I didn't take those vaccinations, I could not be admitted into the school.
Okay.
Right? And BCG was definitely one of them. I'm just looking it up because it's been so long. It's related to tuberculosis, right?
Yeah,
To
tuberculosis,
TB,
TB, yes.
and that is basically to do with your lungs, and that makes sense because you know if you already had a vaccination related to tuberculosis to your lungs, then you are less prone to picking up any illnesses or diseases that are related to your respiratory system, right? And I'm just reading up the news now about BCG and the COVID-19. Okay, I think Sagar has dropped out. That was a very good information, actually. I haven't heard about COVID-19 in so long. I haven't talked to my friends or discussed with anybody, but this is something good to be looking at.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he dropped out. So, okay. Yeah, again, Pakistan is, I think the people living in Pakistan, their immune systems are pretty okay. Um,
Yes.
the street food that we eat over there, the pollution that we have to face every day, because now they're saying as well that, the more you're staying at home, the higher the chances of your immune system becoming weaker, because you're not going outside, you're not interacting with people, you're not picking up the bacteria that you actually need for the antibodies in your system to fight against, right? So to have a better immune system, you need to be out, um,
Yes.
getting infected and affected by a lot of things, not COVID-19, but other bacteria that's in the air as well. Okay,
Yes.
Adil is trying to join. Adil, there is no light at your end. And if you can turn on the light and also sit up straight, I would really appreciate it. And then I can bring you online here.
Madam, what is the difference between the education system of the Canada and the Pakistan?
Huge.
Matlab,
It's
what
a we don't over here in Canada, kids, the children don't fail up until grade 8. There's no failing system.
yes.
They don't even fail in grade 9. Like they cannot fail a whole year. They can fail a subject. So let's say if in grade 9, I'm in grade 9 and I'm taking chemistry, physics, and biology. If I fail in chemistry, I don't have to repeat the whole year. I can just go to grade 10 and take the grade 9 chemistry.
Yes. Yes.
So my whole year is not wasted.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Unlike in Pakistan, you study 8 subjects the whole year. You fail in one. If you don't
Yes.
pass the supply, then you are repeating the whole year,
Yes.
right?
And yes.
Yeah. So also just the way they teach over here is very different as well. So they want the students to become lifelong learners and not just learners of, what do you call it? Then children don't study here for an exam. They study for understanding something.
Yes. There is no rata system, not or exams.
Yes, there is none of that over here. So people are they work more on understanding how things work, why things work, and then making those connections. And that's what they work on in the first 8 years of the education system.
Yes, but here in Pakistan, even in FSC or metric, most of the students not know what is your interest and what he can do. Most of the people, but most of the students saying our parents saying you must become a doctor, you must become an engineer. Not, but student not know what is engineer, what is doctor, what is my future, what is my interest. Most of the
Yeah.
people not know anything.
Over here, you'll be surprised to know that children actually go to school in high school, which is grade 9, 10, 11, and 12. Children learn to become carpenters because they want to become a carpenter. They learn to become mechanics. So becoming a car mechanic over here is also considered an important position. So it doesn't matter what the field that you're working in, everybody is respected. I think that's one of the most important things that I have noticed over here, which is so different, that you could be working as a car mechanic, you could be
Yes,
working
yes,
as a gardener, you could be working as somebody who picks up the garbage, or you could be
yes,
working as a carpenter. You have a skill and everybody
yes,
respects you. So my neighbor could be a car mechanic, but I'm not going to look at him in a bad way and say, oh my God, you're a mechanic. No, I'll
yes,
respect him. Even if I have a neighbor who's a taxi driver, I'm going to respect them, right?
yes,
Because everybody is considered equal over here. And that's how it's supposed to be in the Islamic countries. Unfortunately, it's not.
Yes, yes.
But in the West, it is very normal. And your friends, the friends that you hang out with, you will have people of different backgrounds, different from different professions sitting with you, which is so different.
Yes, but in Pakistan, the situation is totally different.
There's a social
We,
status.
yes, we think this is a carpenter boy, this is a mechanic, this is the taxi driver, this is a look, no, totally different situation here in Pakistan.
Yes, exactly, which is very sad. Again, these things like this in the West are very open. People are very open to the way everything is. It's different over here, so you don't feel bad about any of that stuff. And everybody, like I said, is equal. Everybody is a professional in their own field. Nobody disturbs anybody else.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, which is different. So great. I've been on here for an hour and a half. It's almost midnight at my
Yes,
end.
yes, right.
It was really nice talking to you, Malik Omar Farouk. It was a
Yes,
pleasure
right.
having you here. I hope that you join my live stream another time as well when we have more people, so we can have
Yes, madam.
some more conversations.
Yes, madam. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yes, madam. I enjoy and I will join in future.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your morning, okay?
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye for now. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day. And I'll catch you soon.